Greetings, fellow gorehounds, and welcome back to a Blood Splattered vlog. I'm the Horror Guru.
And I'm Count Jackula.
And today we are going to talk about Fresh, which is a Hulu original horror movie starring Sebastian Stan of Winter Soldier fame. This is a movie that is very easy to spoil, so I'm going to try my best to not talk about where the horror of this movie actually comes from until we get to the spoiler section.
Yeah. I think the first thing that we could actually talk about is, man, the title sequence comes in late.
Oh, yeah. This is a movie that waits a good 30 minutes before it hits you with the title sequence. And when it hits you with the title sequence is when it shows you, is when it reveals what kind of movie it actually is.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that in the spoiler section because there's some details there. But basically, without getting into the weeds, this is a movie that's kind of like the horrors of dating in the modern age.
Yeah.
It's about a young woman who is going through dating apps, trying to find a mate, and ending up with a bunch of shitty guys until she lands on Sebastian Stan, who may have something under the surface that we're not aware of until it's revealed. And that's...
Yeah, the whole movie, it particularly in the beginning, is couched like an 80s and 90s romantic comedy.
Very much so, yeah.
And so much so that those style of music cues continue into after it becomes a horror film.
Oh, yeah. Like, basically, the first 30 minutes of this movie, and I think this movie's only like 2 hours long, maybe an hour and a half, I'm not sure. But, like, the first 30 minutes of this movie feels like a romantic comedy, you know?
Yeah.
There's a meet cute. The characters are funny and charming. There's funny, weird situations leading up to her meeting Sebastian Stan. And then when you get to the transition point after the credits and they reveal what kind of movie this actually is, it's really fucking intense for about the entirety of the second act.
Oh, yeah.
Until it opens up into the third act and it starts to become funny again, but in a dark way.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, one of the things I was really impressed about with this movie is really disturbing.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get past that title sequence, it starts to get real disturbing really fucking fast.
But what's cool is it's disturbing in a way that, like, how to put it, without like spoiling too much, there's a lot of, like, Jaws-style implication of shark.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of, like, blood spray or anything like that, but they tell you what things are, and that reframes what you're looking at.
Exactly. And so like while it's not like the most on-screen gory movie, there's a lot of implying of stuff that is really well done. Like, you know, like how sometimes in a movie like Hostel, instead of showing you the drill going into the foot, it'll show you the person's face when it goes into the foot to like make you feel it more than see it. This movie does a lot of that stuff, but like expertly done, like really expertly done. Yeah.
Do yourself a favor. Don't eat before you see this movie.
Yeah. Before we get to the spoilers, yes, definitely make sure you have your meal before the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to want to eat it during the movie.
No,
trust me on that. Despite it not being very on-screen gory, it is disgusting in very specific ways.
Like my gut was clenched the entire two-thirds of the rest of that movie. I was sitting there going, oh, and then the movie was over. And I'm like, oh man, like I think I actually got a stomach cramp. I've been like, ah.
Funny part is the movie made me hungry. Anyway.
My God.
Some things we can talk about before we get to the spoilers. Sebastian Stan is definitely standout performance of the movie.
This is probably his best performance.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like his really cool ability to balance this charming character, but also seemingly like dorky in a way that feels non-threatening.
Yeah.
While still coming across as threatening.
Yeah.
Like it's a really weird balancing act.
Yeah, they did a really good job of making you go like, this guy, clearly there's something up with this guy.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the first 30 minutes of this movie, he's like really charming, he's really funny, he's really unassuming. He's also kind of pathetic at times. And yet despite all that, you're watching him and you're watching the things he's doing and things just feel off in some way.
Yeah.
You know, you're like, well, the way he's questioning her right here feels like, I suppose the questions he's asking aren't weird, but something about it feels like he's trying to get at something.
They are the kind of things that you would probably overlook if you didn't know it was a horror movie.
Exactly. If it wasn't a horror movie, you wouldn't be looking for it.
Yeah.
But since you know it's a horror movie, you're sitting there going like, does he have an ulterior motive here? Is he asking about her friend just to make sure that like no one's going to come looking for her if she disappears?
Yeah,
you know? Like,
exactly.
Like, what's going on? You know, and the movie does a great job of balancing that, like to the point where, like, I'll be honest, we're when we start heading into like the second act, right before the credits hit, I wasn't exactly sure if it was going to do like a hat trick and do something completely out of nowhere.
Well, yeah, like halfway through the movie, like there's a point in the movie where I was like, wait, is this? What direction are we going in, man? Like it does that thing where it's like here's the way you're pretty sure it's going to go. Yeah. But we've opened up all these other possibilities for where it could go. Yeah. And now you're off balance because you're like, oh shit, which way is this going to happen? And then
once it reveals where it's going, it goes all in. Yeah. And it's a fucking blast. Well, it's an intense blast.
Yeah. The climax, God, that climax takes forever too.
Oh yeah, the climax
goes on for a good like 20 minutes.
It's a long climax. It's intense and it's fun and it brings the humor back. But like that middle portion between the beginning and the end, man, is that intense.
Whoa, it's rough. Yeah. This is one of those movies that this movie actually reminds me a bit of The Woman in that it is a movie that fucking bludgeons your senses. Yeah. So when you get to the end, you're like, whoa, okay.
All right, I'm going to tell you right now, this is not a spoiler because this does not reveal anything about the plot of the movie, but a movie that I thought of while we were watching it, just in the way that it messes with your expectations and like the stark contrast between the beginning and the way where it goes. Yeah. That I thought of was Audition.
Oh, yeah. The ending is great.
Yeah.
The ending is great.
The ending is fantastic. It has an amazing ending. The other thing about this movie is that there's an aspect to this movie that almost feels like, I don't know how else to put it, but Get Out for women. Like, yes, like some aspects of it, like the snarky best friend.
Yeah,
like kind of reminds me a lot of the TSA agent from Get Out.
Well, yeah, and they also have a couple of moments that are very similar to Get Out.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about in the spoiler section.
Yeah. Again, me talking about Get Out is not giving you any plot spoilers, but it is telling you like certain vibes that you're getting. In the movie.
Yeah. There is. It does have themes of like abuse and gaslighting. And
hardcore!
Like
because we're talking about like the fucked up dating world, right?
Yeah.
So like we're gonna start getting into abusive, abusive lover territory, right?
Yeah. To say that, and this girl's like fucking dating life is already going super bad. Because like we run into her in the middle of it. We start in the middle of a date, and it's just like, holy shit! This date is so bad that you're like, this had to have happened.
The guy is such a douchebag.
Yeah, I'm like, this had to have happened.
The guy is such a douchebag. You almost feel like, man, was you going on this date some form of self-harm? Because Jesus Christ, there's no way this guy came across as appealing at all before.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now the lead actress,
she's really good, especially when you start getting into like the later half and you start watching the character where it goes. Like she does a really great job.
Yeah, she and Sebastian Stan are just electric.
The way they play off each other the entire movie is just fantastic. Performances all around. I also like the writing around her character because one thing I was noticing as someone who's seen a lot of those like 90s romantic comedies it was kind of playing off of.
Yeah.
Is that her character is way more fully dimensional compared to characters in those movies.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But there's certain edges to her that feel more human and more real than the kind of like sanitized version you see in like a Meg Ryan movie.
Meg Ryan, yeah.
Like a Meg Ryan movie.
Yeah. You don't feel like, she does not feel like a character Meg Ryan would play at all. And that really helps because, no, she is a more developed character than most female leads in romantic comedies.
Just little things like her and her friend like laughing about getting a good dick like felt like way more human than
because that's not the part that they usually put in these like romantic comedies
exactly
where, like women are talking about sex.
You
know, like they're not they don't usually talk about it the way women actually do.
Yep. Like I love the little touches like her just munching on Cheetos disgustingly at the beginning of the movie. And I was just like, oh, that's really cool. You don't really see like women characters getting a chance to just do something that mundane. And yet so raw on screen.
Because usually like the closest thing I've ever seen is like one of the scenes from like Birds of Prey or Death Becomes Her.
Oh yeah,
one of those.
Oh man, Birds of Prey, where she's like going over to that, like
just eating like Cheez Whiz and shit.
It's those little things that you realize that up until relatively recently you didn't see in a lot of mainstream movies.
So
it's kind of cool to see
because we got the glossy filter around the female character.
Exactly, she's allowed to be human. She's, for lack of a better way of putting it, she's allowed to eat disgustingly and fart. You know, like. And the actress does a really good job with the role. Like, you buy her as a person. There's a point, like, with Sebastian Stan, there are points where I can tell I'm watching a performance, but with her, I always felt like she was the character. You know?
I will put a bit of warning.
Yeah.
There is a point in the movie where you're going to find yourself going, is this going to be all about, like, the black best friend saving the white... No, hang in there. Hang in there. Like, there was definitely like 10 minutes where I was like, oh god, we're not gonna do this.
There's a lot of really cool subversions of expectations in the movie. I really liked it because it's like, it felt like they knew you've seen the movies that it's playing off of.
Oh, definitely.
And so when you reach that point where you're like, okay, this is the part where this happens, the movie will go in the other direction.
Yes.
Even down to like the epic confrontation between the hero and villain. You're like, oh, this is normally where the hero does this or whatever. You'll have the hero do this opposite thing.
Yeah. Completely different thing happens.
You know,
really well done.
And it all feels natural and organic, and it's like things the characters would do.
Yeah.
And I can't recommend this movie enough. Like, right now, this is probably, for the time being, unless something comes along, which we're early in the year and something could always come along, probably my number one horror movie right now for the year. So I'm including Scream and
Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah. This is probably my number one right now. Now there's always room for another movie to come along and dethrone it.
We got like what, 9 months left?
This was like my Werewolves Within. Like when Werewolves Within came out, I was like, this is my number one right now. And then other movies came along that I thought were better.
Yeah.
You know, but at the time,
yeah. Like it's probably not going to get knocked off the top 5.
Exactly. You know? Like Werewolves Within stayed on my top 10 throughout like the entire year.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh god, that movie was so fun.
That movie was really good. And this movie's fun, but I would say this movie gets a lot more intense.
Oh, it is.
Way more intense and way more gross at times, without actually being graphic, which is that's the thing I most commend the movie for. Like, I'm a gore hound. I love to see like intense gore, and this movie kind of held back on that, while also giving you the impact of gore without actually seeing the gore.
Yeah, it was masterfully done.
You know, like the way Spielberg gives you the impact of the shark without actually showing you the shark a lot of the time.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
It's like.
That's it exactly.
And well done, done to everyone.
A lot of that Hitchcock.
Yes,
you know, because that's good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Know? There's a lot of Hitchcock in this. Like, it's a way more fun. Like, upbeat Hitchcock at the beginning. And then it just becomes a straight up horror movie, but that's another story. The movie is currently available on Hulu. It is a Hulu original movie, so if you want to watch it, you're most likely gonna have to subscribe to Hulu and watch it there. I highly recommend you do, because this movie is fantastic. It's really fun. I think especially if you are a woman who can relate to the hell of dating in the modern times using dating apps. Then this movie's probably going to hit home for you in all the best ways.
Yeah.
I say the best ways. Some of you, it might be a little too real. But it might also be cathartic for others. So that's...
Yeah. But it really good film.
Really good film.
Right.
And with that said, let us move on to the spoilers.
All right. So first up, title of the movie is called Fresh, so there are only so many things that could be referring to.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so...
And they hint at it early on because
they do, yeah.
Early on, they have those shots. They're emphasizing the characters eating things in like really disgusting ways. There's the whole conversation about not wanting to eat meat.
Yeah. You know? There's every major plot development happens around food, either in a grocery store or restaurant.
The character's meat cute is literally in a Safeway aisle. Getting some food, and they bond over food. So, like, here's the reveal. Here's the reveal. Like, basically, at the 30-minute mark, we find out that Sebastian Stan's whole deal is that he lures girls with the dating app. He charms them, brings them to his house in the middle of fucking nowhere, drugs them, locks them in his basement, and then, over the course of a couple months, chops them into pieces and sells them to the highest bidder to eat.
Yep.
And some of which he keeps for himself and eats them himself because he is also a cannibal.
Yep.
He is entrepreneur Hannibal Lecter.
Yeah. Yes.
With a little bit of like Patrick Bateman and kind of the way he acts.
Oh,
I was thinking that big time when he was like listening to that 80s music and dancing while he was chopping.
Oh yeah, you could totally tell that was like, all right, this is our American Psycho moment right here.
He's got like this 80s ass music playing while he's chopping a woman's leg and cooking it and shipping it off into boxes to people.
Yeah, it's just like that scene where dude is killing Willem Dafoe.
And it's the scene that's probably the most graphic in the movie because you actually get to see like the leg while he's chopping the leg. But for most of the movie, you don't really see the gore. You just see what he makes afterwards.
Yes.
And you get the implied gore by like hearing girls getting dragged off and then hearing noises and them screaming.
Yeah.
And then the next morning there's like a hamburger on the plate and you're like,
yeah. Or like a close-up shot of like a meat grinder.
But like, here's the thing. It'll be the most delicious looking fucking food you'll have ever seen. Like the way Hannibal, the show, did it.
Yeah.
Which just makes it more gross because like now it's the fact that they're enticing you with it makes it even more disgusting.
Yeah. And they do it so well, there comes to be a point where you start to think maybe the girl's going to turn into a cannibal as well.
Or something. Well, because part of the plot is that the main character keeps finding these notes left behind by a previous girl that was in her cell. And she was apparently his old favorite girl because there's multiple women in this basement with her that she talks with through the vents. She keeps finding these notes from the woman who used to be in her cell, who was his previous favorite. And as his previous favorite, she was granted all these privileges, and he would take her on these little like mini dates upstairs and make food for her or whatever. So there's this like element of like Stockholm syndrome of her like kind of going with his antics and like going on these dates with him and the thing what's really cool about it, while her performance is so good, you in isolation would probably go like, oh shit, she's totally falling for him.
Yeah.
There's these little subtle moments where we see her like look at the keys on the wall or like look at the cell phones locked in the behind the paintings. And in those moments, like it's obvious that you're wondering whether she's like trying to calculate whether she could escape right then or if she's putting together a plan. Yeah. By the end of the movie, it is revealed that she is putting together a plan and that the whole Stockholm Syndrome thing is her playing him the way he played her at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. Not before she has to eat people.
People? Oh my God. Oh my God. And you're sitting there wondering, like, even though she's like obviously scheming at this point, is she falling for it?
Is she falling for it? Yeah.
Because she's eating it and she seems to actually like it, weirdly enough. Whereas when she first did it, she threw up.
Yeah.
But later on in the movie, you're like, is she playing him? Or is she actually
or is she actually coming over to his side? Because turns out dude is married to one of his to one of the previous girls that he captured, who is now assisting him.
It never outright states it, but it shows you that she has a leg missing.
Yeah.
And it very much emphasizes her having this missing leg and having the prosthetic leg on. And in most contexts, you'd be like, well, there's almost no reason for you to show us this unless she lost that leg because he ate it.
Yeah. or cut it up and sold it.
Yeah, exactly. So the implication is that she at one point was one of the favorite girls and became wife.
Yep.
And so you can tell, like, while you're watching this movie, you're like, is he just gonna kill her anyway, or is he setting up the main character to be replacement
wife? Yeah,
replacement wife.
Yeah, exactly. Is she gonna end up in this woman's position?
You know, and there's all these. It's great because the movie has all those plates spinning at once, and it never feels convoluted or too much, and you're constantly sitting there going, okay, which direction is this going?
Yeah. Because there's a point where I was like, is she gonna fucking take over this business and kill him?
Yeah.
You know, like.
And what I love is the movie, like, will reach these points where, like, okay, here's the point where we get, like, the turning. Where's it going to go or whatever? And then the movie will go in a completely different direction. Like, I was not expecting her to start her escape when she did.
No, me neither.
Like, I thought we still had a little bit of time before something like that was going to happen.
Yeah. I thought one more step was going to get taken, and then it happens.
And it's this great scene where she basically bites off his dick. But again, you don't see the biting off of the dick, but everything that you need to know happens. And you can feel it. You can feel it.
And this is where Sebastian Stan fucking steals the goddamn show.
Oh my God. Watching him go from the charming guy to basically Patrick Bateman to having his third act breakdown when he loses control of the situation and just reveals who he really is underneath it all.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So good.
So fucking good. And it makes it all the more satisfying when she and the girls that she escapes with, because she doesn't just save herself.
Yeah.
She saves other girls that were captured, including her friend who came to try to save her.
Yeah. Her friend gets captured because she's like, man, I haven't seen my friend in a week. What the fuck happened? And she's the one who runs into the guy's wife. And that's how you discover she's in on it.
I also love the detail that up until the point where she runs into the room and saves her friend, you're not sure if she's aware that her friend's in there.
Correct.
You know, because he's muffled her, and there's a point where she's like, that didn't sound like so-and-so was being dragged. What's going on? Does he have another girl? But when she runs in and saves her, it's very much revealed that she knew the whole time that her friend was taken. And that's why she acted as fast as she did. Yeah,
because everything kicks into high gear when, like, he reveals the little, like, souvenir cubbyhole, and, like, off in a corner is her friend's cell phone.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just like...
And that was a tip-off.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, I didn't put together it was her friend's cell phone at first. I just thought, like, oh shit, those are cell phones. She could call, like, help and get the fuck out of there if she can get a hold of those. I did not put together that she also noticed it was her friend.
Yeah.
You know, it's really well done.
There's really good.
Like, things like that have so many multiple layers going on that, like, even if you don't register one detail, you might register an important detail.
Yeah, like, and there are a lot of other fucking things that fucking happen that have really nasty implications. Like, I'm pretty sure that he fucking cut off and served her friend's tit to her.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too.
You know,
I was pretty convinced of that. Like, because she definitely did something to the friend. When he dragged her off that first time. Yeah, and then the next day,
Lex act, she's constantly like this.
Yeah,
you know?
and then the next time we see them, like, she's cooked a boob for her.
Yeah.
You know, and he has this whole story of who it actually is, but I don't think I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
I was like, that's her. That's her.
Because he does say you might find it familiar. You know, like.
Yeah. Yep. Her bisexual friend.
Yeah.
By the way, so bi represents.
Yeah. I was amazed that fucking all the heroes lived.
Yeah.
They're not unscarred, clearly.
Yeah. All the heroes lived. Like,
not necessarily in one piece.
All of his victims that are dead were victims that were there. Oh, actually, well, okay.
There's one victim who's killed, but we do not get to know her.
It's the one who's crazy, and so they can't actually communicate with her because she's just gone.
Yeah.
She's actually killed. But outside of her, all the other victims happen before the movie starts. And we're just seeing their parts.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, man, that freezer. Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez. Oh, and even her, like, finding the little notes left behind by previous victims, you know, like, fucking devastating.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Man, like, this...
I also like the fucked up detail that he doesn't just ship them off to these highest bidders. He ships them, their body parts off, and ships them with their clothing items, like their bra and their panties.
Yeah.
because it's like, oh,
there's a picture of them,
and the way he says it, he's just like, oh, they like to feel close to the person they eat because they're gonna be a part of them. I'm like, that's bullshit. This is a sex thing. They're getting off on it. That's why they want the panties and the bra and not like their fucking like t-shirt or something.
Like, oh my god. So disturbing. But man, that final act when they fucking like triple team him, you have the fucking like the Asian girl that she had been talking to the entire time. I don't remember the character's name, but Penny. Penny. Okay, when the Penny that she was talking to the entire time, and then when you finally see her, you see how much damage he had done to her up to that point because she had been there a lot longer than the main character. And you get her. You get her sassy bisexual best friend, and you get her herself all just beating the ever-loving fuck out of him in this final act, like with meat fucking grind, with like fucking meat, not meat, the meat tenderizer,
and shit, and like picking up all of his weapons, using all of his weapons against him, until you eventually get to the end where she holds the gun to his face and then tells him to smile and then shoots him in the fucking head. Oh my god, that's like the moment in Scream where it's just like, not in my movie. Like,
exactly.
Fucking iconic. Brilliant.
Oh god, that's not even when it fucking stops.
Every girl in this movie is a fucking final girl, and they're awesome.
And that's not even where the fucking movie stops.
No, because then you get the point where the wife shows up.
Yeah.
And you think that they're like, oh shit, is the wife gonna take over the business, or is she gonna finally be free, or what? And then she tries to strangle the girl. And
and that's when there's another murder.
Oh my god, when the friend shows up and beats her with the shovel, and it's just like, women like you are part of the problem.
Bonk. Bonk. And that I love that because like his death and her death are unlike any other damage that happens.
Because
those are the big the gory glorious moments.
That's when the movie actually gets a bit gory, you know? That's when you actually see some impact, you actually see some blood splurt.
It's like, that guy's head caved in. Like, okay.
Oh my god. I also love that fucking hilarious moment where you have the bartender. Okay, so there's this bartender character that you are told dated the sassy friend at one point.
Yeah.
But he was also the one person to have seen them both at the bar. So when the sassy best friend starts looking, like trying to figure out who he is and all that stuff, she goes to the bar and tries to get like his credit card information and all that stuff. But then when the sassy best friend disappears, he starts getting suspicious and starts looking for her.
Yeah.
This leads to a scene where he actually rolls up as they're escaping but they are escaping through the back, so he doesn't see them.
Yeah.
And the guy has pulled out a gun and starts shooting at them. And he pulls up at the house, hears the gunshots, goes, oh, fuck this, I'm out of here. I've seen this movie, I'm not going to live through it.
We're leaving.
And fucking leaves. And I like that subversion of expectations, because you think he's going to show up.
Well, you think he's going to be the TSA guy fucking Get Out.
And he's actually going to help, but it's a bait and switch, because the friend actually gets that moment.
Yeah.
You know? It's a great movie. I love this movie.
The last line of the fucking movie is great. Where like, because the main character has never run into the wife before, doesn't even know this person exists. Mm-hmm. And now she's being strangled by her friend, comes in, saves her, kills the wife, and she's like, who the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Best friend's like, that was his wife. He was married?
Yeah, that's such a great line. That's one thing I actually really love about this movie. This movie manages to be intense, it manages to be fun, and it's got social commentary.
Oh, so good.
Really well done social commentary. Like, even if you get right down to the fact that there's like a little bit of commentary on the way these dating apps kind of treat people's bodies as commodities.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's the dating scene.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, like half of these apps are just scrolling on people's bodies and like deciding if you want to date them based on that, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You know,
and so like this movie it goes to an extreme with that, where you have a guy who uses those apps and is a piece of shit and sells women's bodies.
Yeah, it's taking that to a new level.
Yep.
Oh man, this movie was a lot of fun.
This movie's great.
I loved it. Hats off to the director.
I feel like if you didn't like movies like Hostel, I feel like this movie addresses every criticism of that kind of movie, and makes a really great movie out of it.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
totally. This is very well. I wouldn't say it is female. It's definitely more of a female perspective than the first Hostel, and I think the first Hostel was a lot cooler. But
both movies are way gory.
Yeah. But this one like really, really hammers. Really well.
Well, like I was thinking about when I was watching it because like on the surface this could have been a torture movie, but it's not.
It's not.
Like every time it has the opportunity to go in that direction, it goes in another direction.
Yeah, even though it's difficult to watch as one of those sometimes. It doesn't actually cross over.
But I was like thinking like this is a movie that's kind of similar plot wise to movies like that, like right down to like he's selling their bodies, like you know. But like it's filmed in such a way that if you don't like the way Hostel is done, you might like this movie's approach.
Yeah. It's because it is a very different approach to a very similar subject.
Exactly.
You know.
Anything else you want to say?
Oh man, no, this movie was so good.
Fucking
great.
This
is the funny thing is I found myself going like, holy shit, Sebastian Stan's a real actor.
Oh, he's great.
I didn't doubt it because I liked him in
Winter Soldier.
In Captain America Winter Soldier and fucking Captain America Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Falcon and Winter Soldier, yeah. And so I knew he was good, but this is like that guy's got range. You didn't have any clue about.
This is watching Christian Bale doing Patrick Bateman, right?
Yes.
Like this is
one
of those career defining like performances. I don't know if the movie will actually be career defining, but it feels like it should be because it's such a great performance.
Yeah. This strikes me as the kind of movie that a bunch of the right people are going to watch and be like, "Whoa, no, we need that guy.
We got to hire him for all this shit."
Yeah. We need this guy now. You know,
I would not be surprised if he gets a lot of work from this movie because of like.
No, I wouldn't. The
range it shows.
Yeah.
Because it's a very different character than anything else I've seen him in.
Yeah. Because I realized, wait, I've only seen this guy basically be Winter Soldier.
That's the main thing I've seen him in. I've seen him in other things, but like never going this hard.
No, like because like even in the other things, he's just still like kind of normal guy.
Yeah.
You know, he
really cuts loose in this one.
Oh my God, he looks like he's having a ball.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Oh, yeah, and it makes it so much more satisfying when he fucking loses it at the end.
It's also nice that he's not the same kind of cannibal as Hannibal.
No, he's not.
Because, Hannibal's very refined and all that shit. No, this guy is not.
He's way more Patrick Bateman than Hannibal in terms of personality. Little bit of Stepfather, too. Like the kind of gaslighty thing he does feels very much like the Stepfather movies.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it does. It does.
The other thing I will say about this, because I've already started to see it, Sebastian Stan's one of those great villains in this movie that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to fuck him anyway.
Oh, yeah.
There's going to be a lot of people be like, I could fix him.
Yeah.
And I can't blame them because he's so great in this.
Yeah, well, yeah, like if he couldn't fucking get that, if he couldn't do that, movie wouldn't be as good.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
there's also going to be a lot of people who are just be like, well, he could cut me up. You know?
Yeah, oh, yeah. That's like, okay, I know not to date you.
Yeah.
It's a little crazy there.
I've already started to see some people on Twitter say that.
Oh, shit.
I'm saying it's a thing.
Oh, God.
Like he already had a whole bunch of people with Winter Soldier. Like he had his
right. Exactly.
But now there's a new form of Stan because of this movie.
Stands, but now, power of that celebrity, man. Power of that celebrity.
All I'm saying is the goth girls have discovered him now. You know.
Well, I guess it's good that I'm not like in my 20s anymore. Well, then again, like every girl I knew in my 20s was obsessed with like fucking Charles Manson and shit. So like, not much has changed really.
Yeah, fair. And on that note, where can they find you, Count Jackula?
Oh, you can find me on Twitter at Counting Jack, where I always tweet when I am streaming here on YouTube. I do have a Twitch channel that I still occasionally do stuff on. That's when I'm like wanting to stream, but a little more low key. Mm-hmm. That's that's Count_Jackula. And you can also find me on Instagram at Satanic Jackula. I really wish I could have kept them all the fucking same the way you did, but that's not how that shit shook out.
Well, between the fact that there was like a band named Count Jackula, which kind of immediately made it hard to get it on some platforms.
Yeah.
And every time like something fucked up and you lost the account, like
yeah.
And y'all know me, I'm the Horror Guru. You can find me at the Horror Guru on Twitter, on Twitch, on Instagram, and Facebook. Just look up the Horror Guru or Blood Splattered Cinema, and I'll be there. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you're notified of my videos immediately upon their upload. And if you'd like to help out either of us more directly, then be sure to check out our Patreon page. And remember, if you decide to go the Patreon route, even $1 a month can go a long way. And if you made it this far into the vlog, then I want you to comment below, and be sure to comment below using the hashtag
HelloFresh.
HelloFresh. Use the hashtag HelloFresh, comment below, and work it in. That way I know, that way Jack knows, that way the whole world knows you watched this vlog all the way through.
And maybe if we get that trending enough, though, HelloFresh will offer us a fucking sponsorship deal, and that would be amazing.
There is no fucking way HelloFresh is going to be like, wait, you used our name in the context of fucking a cannibal movie? There's no way we're sponsoring you now. We don't want people to think that's what's in our food. You know what this movie needed?
What?
It needed the song Mambo No. 5. A little bit of Monica.
Shit. Yeah, you're right.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I think the movie should have ended with that.
Yeah.
Imagine you're watching this whole movie about this guy that's just eating all these women, and at the very end, it's Mambo No. 5.
Yeah. Oh, geez. No, that'd have been perfect. That'd have been fucking perfect. It probably would have been better than ending it with a Dance Till You're Dead.
Yeah.
You know, because I noticed, like, I heard that song and I was like, oh god, this is gonna be in everything, isn't it?
Yep.
And it sure shit it is.
Yep.
I could have handled Mambo No. 5 being what would play this out. Yeah. Yeah, especially because it actually would have fit with the tone of the ending. You know?
If you out there have the ability, I want someone out there to edit together a video of him dancing to Mambo No. 5. Send it to me on Twitter or something.